The key didn't even turn. I pushed harder, heart sinking, until the door creaked open, slow, reluctant, and a wave of bleach hit my nose. The kind of sharp, sour smell that tries to cover something up but only makes it worse. Inside, there was barely enough space for a cot bolted to the wall and a stained sink that dripped in slow, angry intervals. A single bulb hung overhead, swaying slightly, flickering like it was just as disgusted to be here. No window. No desk. No dignity. This was my room. 2 decks above, my wife. No, not my wife anymore. Amanda. She had her name back now, was clinking diamond-drenched champagne flutes with her family, laughing like betrayal was just another cocktail ingredient. I'd seen their suite when we boarded. Gold-trimmed everything. A private hot tub that overlooked endless ocean. Wall-to-wall luxury. And here I was, beneath them in every possible way. A closet with a mattress for me. A palace for them. I shut the door softly, letting the silence fold around me. The cot groaned under my weight as I sat down, elbows on knees, forehead pressed into my palms. My skin was clammy with the chill of realization. This wasn't an accident. This was planned. They wanted me humiliated, exiled, erased. I remembered the wedding bands, those shining symbols we exchanged 5 years ago when Amanda whispered "forever" in my ear like a secret promise. Now it felt like those words had rusted into chains. And I should have seen it all along, the secret glances between her and her friends, the silences that stretched too long, the sudden hush when I walked into a room. Her father's smug, ever-present grin when I mentioned my promotion. But a man wants to believe. He wants to hope. And belief? Belief had cost me everything. It started unraveling during the gala dinner. I left early, needing to finish a report that could have secured my future, a position I'd chased for years, teetering just within reach. I opened my laptop and stared in horror as the screen flickered with corrupted files and gibberish. Programs, wiped. Documents, vanished. Someone had sabotaged it. And then came the giggles from the hallway. Amanda's friends leaned against the corridor wall, glossy and cruel, venom dripping from every word. "Guess you're fired now," one of them sneered, tossing her hair, eyes glittering with delight. For a moment I was frozen. Shocked. Hollow. My work, my credibility, my future, all of it had been turned to ash by their ridicule. Months of effort reduced to a punchline. But then something shifted in me. Not rage. Not sorrow. Something colder. A clarity sharp as glass. They wanted me broken, but I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to scream. I was going to dismantle them, piece by gilded piece. 12 hours. That's how long it took to prepare a different kind of report. Amanda's father, in his arrogance, had once mentored me. Told me the golden rule of the powerful, always have leverage. And I had listened, too well perhaps. I'd spent years quietly compiling what he never thought anyone would notice. Encrypted backups. Hidden folders. Offshore accounts her father used to dodge scrutiny. Her mother's carefully concealed tax fraud. Her friends, those preening influencers, running scams that preyed on desperate kids, selling lies for likes. Every drunken confession. Every whispered scheme. All catalogued. All waiting. While they raised their glasses to celebrate my downfall, I pressed send. The morning after the trap snapped shut, I was already awake, calm, composed, setting the stage. A soft knock broke the silence, unnaturally polite for the ship's broom closet I'd been banished to. I opened the door to find a man in a captain's uniform flanked by 2 officers. His smile was thin, formal, tight like a stitched wound. "Mr. Callahan," he said evenly, "the captain requests your presence." As we walked through the corridor, murmurs rippled in our wake. Crew members snapped to attention, eyes discreetly following us. Amanda's friends spotted me from their perch near the breakfast buffet, half-chewed croissants hanging from their fingers. Their laughter faltered. One by one, confusion drained their faces. And then there was Amanda, on the upper deck, turning slowly, eyes locking on mine. First disbelief, then recognition, and finally the quiet, creeping dread of someone realizing they had misplayed their final move. The captain led me, not to the bridge, not to his office, but to the ship's grandest suite. Their suite. Correction, my suite now. The doors opened. I stepped onto polished marble floors without a sound. The space was immaculate, the air thick with silent tension. On the table, an array of documents had been carefully arranged. Printed emails, forged transfers, financial records, screenshots of messages they thought were long gone. Amanda's face drained of color. Her fingers twitched at her sides like she couldn't decide whether to grab the papers or bolt for the door. "What is this?" she demanded, her voice higher than usual, edges fraying. The captain answered before I could. Precise. Unapologetic. Effective immediately, the Callahan family suite is reassigned to Mr. Callahan alone. All others will be escorted to economy-class accommodations for the remainder of the voyage. Gasps filled the room. Her father stammered, his mouth opening and closing uselessly. Her friend stood frozen, eyes wide with the kind of fear reserved for people who finally realized the cameras had been rolling the whole time. Amanda turned to me, pleading, confusion collapsing into desperation. I didn't flinch. Actions, I said, voice steady, have consequences. Security stepped in. Amanda protested. Cried. Begged. Her father shouted threats about lawyers. Her friends wailed about reputations. But the captain didn't blink. He only nodded, motioning them out one by one like convicts being marched from a courtroom. Then silence. The door shut behind them with a deep, satisfying finality. I turned toward the window and took in the endless blue horizon, wide and open and mine. A breath. A sip from the half-drunk bottle of champagne they'd left behind. It burned clean sharp, like justice. Later, I reclined in the infinity pool overlooking the sea. The water warm, the sky streaked with gold. From above, I watched Amanda and her family navigate the bowels of the ship, through rusted stairwells, peeling paint, and the sour rot of lost privilege. The luxury they once hoarded now taunted them in reverse, mocking them from every angle. Meanwhile, my laptop, restored and intact, was already en route to corporate headquarters, packed with every ounce of damning evidence. One carefully worded email would trigger the audit Amanda's father would never outrun. Her friends' shiny influencer facades were crumbling in real time as anonymous reports hit their sponsors like grenades, each more devastating than the last. I didn't need to scream. I didn't need revenge served loud or flaming. Victory, I'd learned, is best served precise. Surgical. Quiet enough to haunt. As the sun melted into the sea, glowing blood red on the waves, I leaned back, eyes closed, and exhaled the last remnants of the life they tried to ruin. I wasn't broken. I wasn't theirs. I was the reckoning they never saw coming. And I had only just begun.